Yo. Soft words and harsh truths. You got issues, I got issues, we all do. So free yourself, a safe space for your concerns. We got things to learn, habits to unlearn. Always deconstructing and reconstructing. Can you see the beauty that's in destruction? If there's an end, the new beginning's coming. Nothing comes easy, does it? You gotta really want it. Soft words and harsh truths. You got issues, I got issues, we all do.
Welcome to Unhinged While Anchored. I am your host, Goddess. And tonight, we are going to do things a little bit different. We are honored to share the stage with Navy Montel, and we are going to take this goddess into geekdom. Everybody, welcome, Navy Montel. Hi,
Oh my
Montel.
gosh, it's so wonderful to see you. Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Hi, how are you?
I am well. I am well. I am so excited to have you here. For the listeners, Montel and I met on the World Record podcast, and it had to be love at first sight, of course, you know.
I could genuinely say she had a presence about her that you could not help but be engaging. It's like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I can see this right now.
Yes, it was quite an experience.
Indeed, but it was wonderful. I wouldn't have traded it for anything in the world. This is my second year being a part of that, so I was really, really proud to be a part of that.
I was excited too. I joined the group after last year, so I came in around June, and so we do this in January. And so it was a treat for me, a humbling experience to say the least. It is a unique experience to be able to hear people psychoanalyze you, and not be upset by it. Like, I was a little twin, however, it helps me grow. So I took it more as a positive than a negative.
You have to, especially if you can just keep your eyes open and be willing to just look at what's before you and say, okay, let me listen first before I respond, because a lot of people don't do that. They don't listen before they respond, and they'll just rattle off whatever comes off the mind. You realize I was really impetuous. Oh, okay. That's a big word, impetuous. I actually use the word impetuous. Wow.
I got chastised for using the word propriety. I was told that I should dumb down my grammar to better suit the audiences I was in front of. And I was like, I think not.
No. I would never do that anyway, because you're insulting the people that are listening. So why would you do that?
Hey, I just, I have been on this whole training, I guess you can say, and we'll get into it, because one of the things that I was so excited to share with you when we met was my newfound love for anime,
Yes.
especially the character Orihime from Bleach. I really resonate with her, especially because she is a powerhouse when it comes to emotion. It can both be a weakness for her as well as a strength. But the best part about it is it's also a shield and a weapon. And so it's really, really intriguing. But I don't want to get there yet, because that's jumping the shark. Let's not jump the shark.
You maybe want to jump the shark because the shark likes it too. Now you're in competition with the shark. So I don't know how to feel about that. Damn hammerheads, what the hell?
For those who are listening, you are truly missing out. Behind Montel is a collection of comic books and figurines and all kinds of collectible art.
All
He
my
has
memories.
a nifty little spreadsheet app that he uses that calculates and does all the stuff for him. You know, he is a supreme blerd,
Oh
as
my
it were.
goodness.
So
I'm more of an
when
old one, if anything else. Gee whiz. It's just I'm up there in years. What can I say?
my goodness, whatever.
Y'all when I tell you that the banter that we had during those 48 hours was it was incredible, because at that point you have to be a kid in order to appreciate it. And at that point, all of us were on we're on schoolyard, we're on the playground, we're sitting there in the monkey bars and the swings, just let it
Yes.
all hang out. And I think once we took off the headphones, we became adults again, but I didn't want to leave because I was digging the girl over there on the seesaw. How you doing there, boo? How you doing? What's your
How
name?
you doing? Right,
What your name is? What your name is?
right. Absolutely. You're so silly. When did
Thank you.
you start this love of anime and comics?
Oof.
Where did it all start?
Comics started before anime. For me, my love in basketball story with comics started when I was 8 years old. I used to live with my grandmother a lot because my mom worked as a nurse at the hospital. She was always working crazy hours, so she made sure that me and my sisters were safe. So we stayed with my grandmother, and there was a corner drugstore right around the corner from my grandmother's house. So whenever I would come from school, I would go to the library, which is across the street from the house, which was so convenient. Sometimes I'm going to the library. All right, just don't bring any books back because you're really bad about that. And I really was. I really was.
I was too, though.
So after I left the library, I would go to the drugstore, and they had the metal carousel where all the comics were displayed, and I'd be there for hours just looking at the books and reading them, and this is where my love grew, and I wanted to know more. These were stories that were fun, they were vibrant, they were larger than life characters. Captain America, the Avengers, Justice League, the list goes on. And just like, and then dare I say it, that was when my story arc started, because I actually nicked my first comic. That was my last one too. I still feel guilty today for that. It's still in my collection. So um and then
You
from there,
probably have all those tapes for a penny too, huh?
shh, my secret out there. Let my secret out. I got some things to keep to myself. Good Lord, no. Nah, not really. So my love for anime didn't come in until about 2 years later. And when my mom, we started living with my mom, and we had a place where we lived with my grandmother and work because her hours were a little bit more functional. Me and my sisters would get up in the morning to get ready for school. There was always an hour before school, so she'd sit us in front of the TV. Now, there was a show called Battle of the Planets. And okay, look, I know what time it is. I swear, it's just technology. I hate it. Anyway, um, and I fell in love with it. But then I found out later that that was my first anime because it comes from the Japanese anime called Gotcha Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's what that was. Oh, and then it just went, forget it. I started going into Astro Boy, Gigantor, uh, Eight Man After, Fist of the North Star. The list went on, and I just got, as I got older, I started exploring more. And the best part about it is I started meeting other people who were into it. So I started getting suggestions. I was like, realize how dangerous y'all are making me right now, right? You realize that y'all are about to create a Frankenstein with a really nice mustache. You realize that, right?
Yes. Listeners, let me tell you, Montel's got a full gnome beard going on, looking like a chocolate Santa Claus.
Thank you for that. OMG. Thank you so much for that. Oh my goodness. As I hold on, as I swear upon my Pokédex. Thank you so much for that. Yes. That's right. For those of y'all listening, yes, I have a functional Pokédex. Y'all remember these things. Everybody and their mama wanted to get one. I found it. So hey.
I I will be honest. I just recently, again, I haven't taken a deep dive. My interest has really been specific. You introduced me to Demon Slayer because you told me that I would resonate with the character, and I did because of the loyalty.
Yes. Yes.
And I have that unbridled loyalty, and it's like it doesn't matter what you do to me. I'm still going to be loyal to you because your integrity doesn't we're not the same. And so, not as a dismissive way, however, I stay
We're
true to
unique.
who I am. Yeah.
Right. We're unique. We're special. We're different. And that's what makes it such a fun journey, because I don't want to meet someone that's exactly like me. Let me see what the differences are. Let's see what your quirks are. What sets you apart from everybody else. And that in itself is what makes it fun. Because
Right.
if I wanted to meet me, then I would have been blessed with a twin, and oh, that would have gone really well. Yeah, that would have gone really well. Y'all hear the sarcasm in my voice, right? You sense it. You taste it upon your tongue, and it's like, oh, it's so salty and bitter, and I want more of it. But no, I totally get it. That's why I suggested Demon Slayer to you, because on top of love, loyalty, and just unbridled dedication to that one, it's prime. And a lot of people are actually taking life lessons from anime like Demon Slayer and like Bleach, and even
Right.
from Jujutsu Kaisen and a host of others that I'd be naming all night long. But when you mentioned that you like Orihime, I said she is definitely going to be a stand for Nezuko.
I
Definitely,
don't know what
because
that means.
if you when you start watching Demon Slayer, you'll completely understand, because Tanjiro is the main character. His
Right.
sister Nezuko is the one who is half demon, half human. So when she sees him in danger, right there, and he risks his life for her. So that bond, because they're the only ones of their lineage left, and
Right.
they protect each other. They're there for each other. And I was like, yeah, I see God as being a part of this. Yeah, I see this right here. That's right, baby. Sit down and watch your Demon Slayer. I'll bring your snacks over
Watch
to
it.
you.
Yes, I will commit to watching it, and we'll have to do a recap. We'll do a full episode on my learning of Demon Slayer.
I will be here. You just call me.
We brought up Orihime, and one of the most poignant pieces of the story of her in Ichigo is the end. And I am a sucker for endings. Now, I'm gonna be honest. There could be a romantic story there, right? If you wanted to be fancy with the pen. However, it's more of the protection piece for me. And so she had to learn to be strong so she could defend as well as protect him in the battlefield. And he had to learn to trust her in the battlefield. And so it's a very, very impactful storyline for me. And so, do you think, as that relates to real life, and I'm going to tie it into the gender wars that we find ourselves in currently, a lot of men don't understand that a woman is capable of going into battle with them because she's not the one that's going to be wearing the armor.
All knights have a squire.
Right.
All knights have a squire. And a lot of people, if you ever ask them what the purpose of a squire is, they really couldn't tell you. And I said, well, I want you to think of a squire as a tag team partner who doesn't fight, but they provide all the support that a knight needs, bringing their armor, bringing their weapons, being there for them if they need some sort of medical attention, just right there. There are some people who have never gone into battle with anyone but themselves. And as a result of that, they've gotten hardened to anyone saying, hey, I got your back. They may have had a past traumatic experience where someone said the exact same thing, but did the opposite.
Right.
Being left alone and being left desolate. And ironically, that also kind of ties into the Blerd community as well, because in the beginning, we were all outcasts. We weren't necessarily accepted for the things that we liked because it didn't fall into the norm or the status quo. But at the same time, over time, we realized that, hey, we can't rely on the outside world to always have our back. We have to rely on each other. We've got to take advantage of each other's resources and build those bonds.
Right.
And if we go into the gender wars, I think, unfortunately, society has also determined that if you're with somebody, it's bad. But if you're by yourself, you can do it on your own, but not realizing that you're creating a monster. But even monsters feel. So
Right.
they're going to want companionship. So what's going to be the lesser of two evils? On one hand, I could be a boss dude or a boss chick, and I can go chase that bag, and I can attain all the success. But I'm going to be alone late at night in that beautiful, luxurious bed with those cashmere sheets.
Right.
But I don't want the world to know that I'm laying alone in this luxurious bed with these cashmere sheets and a 70-inch screen TV in front of me. No, I want to give off that persona. But at the same time, you flip it to somebody else. If you have someone that's in a loving, caring relationship, they're not allowed to be successful. They're not allowed to have all of these amazing blessings because they're with somebody. Companionship does not mean failure. And I wish people would stop putting that out there. You want to chase the bag? That's cool. But remember your humanity, because before you got that bag, you had that heart.
Right.
So if you harden your heart, so much so because you want to achieve that success that you see on social media, which is the other monster that we fight on a constant, that you're going to miss out on every blessing, the small interactions, the smile from that stranger, or the hello that you might need to brighten your day. It's like, y'all, don't do it. Don't do it.
Right.
It's not worth it. It really isn't.
And I've run into ego.
Mm.
There's there's this overwhelming sense of needing to prove who we are. You don't want to mess with me, pull up. Why? Why do you have
Yes.
to pull up? Like, I don't, why is everything fisticuffs? Remember back in the day when we can just go beatbox and break dance in the street? Let's bring back the cardboard, because I saw somebody literally tell somebody that he was going to pull up on him because the man believes himself to be God instead of worshiping God. It's the same thing, my guy. It's the same thing, just from a different perspective, yet you're taking offense and now you want to fight him.
Yeah. Like you said, ego.
I just don't understand it. And then these are the same people who are preaching unity. I am here for positivity. Worship me. What? That's a contradiction that I don't like. It doesn't make sense to me.
If I could lean all the way back in my chair, because that was really heavy, but you're not wrong though. You're not. It's ego has caused so much chaos because people aren't willing to be humble. It's like humility is such a poison. You don't want to say, well, I don't want to back down. How is it backing down if you are just saying, okay, you're right, I'm wrong, cool, okay? But no, if to admit that you're wrong means that you are an inferior creature, that you cannot stand on your own, I would rather be wrong and accept that rather than be right and feel empty.
Right. Or have this false sense of entitlement, and it's just a shaky foundation. And I've recently really started to find it very unattractive.
Oh, I
You
find
know,
it forever unattractive. What you talking about? That's why I look the way I look. I'll be someone's grandfather. Baby, you shouldn't be doing that sort of thing. You shouldn't be doing that. How old am I? It's none of your damn business. You
none of
shouldn't be
your
doing that.
damn business. Get off my lawn. Get off the lawn.
Get off my lawn. I'm sick of you young kids out here. Give me my Nerf gun, mama. I'm ready to start shooting some kids off the bus.
Okay, listeners, now I have to tell you, one of my questions says, I am sure you have done your voice a few times by now. When did you really embrace that side of you? It's a unique energy. And I just want to go on record and say, my dear Montel, use the voice before we even hit record. So so I was right. But now we're gonna
Fine.
when did you start doing the voices? Because it's very intriguing, especially the Obi-Wan.
Believe it or not, I actually wanted to be a ventriloquist.
I could so see that.
I gave that up a long time ago. Long time ago. I was 10 and I used to see all the great ventriloquists, and even now I'm a fan of Jeff Dunham and his line of friends, and I get a kick out of them. So I wanted to try it, but I could never master being able to talk without moving my lips. And mind you, I'm 10. So I'm watching this and I'm like, and it just didn't work. So what I did is I would watch TV, and anytime I saw someone with a unique voice, I would imitate it. And then I would continue to practice it. And the next thing I know, this became part of my personality, especially it was great using it in high school because my teachers had no idea where I was going to come from. They wanted me to, Montel, would you please read this up in front of the class? No one else read theirs in front of the class. It was me. It was always me. And I was like, Mrs. Wright, why do I have? Because I want you to read it in front of the class. And then come to find out later, she says, I love that you would change your voice no matter what. And it, for a while, I didn't even realize I was doing it. It actually became so much a part of me that it was like my friend. My voices became my friends.
Right.
And as I got older, I just started saying, okay, I know I can make people smile. I can make them laugh. I could just be myself. And then as I started listening to different dialects and different accents and different tones and voices, I started imitating them and just bringing them into here. So especially going through a drive-through. Oh my gosh, that is so much fun.
Oh my gosh. I met my Andre through a drive-through, and I would always be like, welcome to Jack in the Box, Mom. Now can I can't do it now, I'm old. But I would speak in
Shush,
a very
don't even say that. How dare you? Speaking blasphemy over here. Y'all, she tries so hard. She's not gonna do this around me. She tried doing that. No. Doggone it. Unacceptable and totally deplorable. That's what I say.
I would speak with a Jamaican accent, and I'd be like, hey man, and then I'd give out free fries or something. And it was just kind of my thing, I just was making the job fun. But I do have one voice. Let me see if I could do it. Hold on.
Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait for this.
You'll kind of remember it because I stole it from somebody, but
don't we all?
Throat was like, no ma'am.
She is trying, bless her heart, she is trying I don't know if it's water in there or I don't know what. It's a battle between her and fluids right now, y'all.
Me and fluids are not friends right now. Okay, let's see. As fast as be, you'll never catch me.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh my gosh, I love it. Especially when I hear it and I can go, you know what, lady? I don't like doing that with you, lady. Let's do it, lady. Do that in a drive-through. Or you could go Star Wars. Misa say do this with the Jedi. Misa do this with the Jedi. Jar Jar, sit your ass down. Misa say shut up. That was good though. That was good.
It was just one thing that I've held for like decades. And it's just, I don't really show it off because it's not really a talent. It's just this weird thing I can do.
Here, see, I'm going to correct you as I'm sitting here, y'all, as I'm sitting here wearing my One Piece headband and my Yu-Gi-Oh hoodie. That is a talent, my dear. That is an absolute talent, because you name one other person that can do that. Can you name one other person that you know that can do that?
Joey Gladstone from Full House.
Do you know Joey Gladstone from Full House personally?
I do not. No,
unacceptable. Okay, so unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're going with this one. If you don't know anybody personally, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Okay. I'll accept it.
But my voices have always been a part of my personality. And the great thing about it is it's fantastic as an icebreaker. I always just read the situation. If it's somebody, now, like today, I work for Elevance, so I'm a customer care rep. So I'm always on the phone. And a lady had called, and you could just hear it. She was going through it. And she talked to me after we had solved her problem. We had talked for a good 30 minutes. And as we're talking, it happens. It's the spirit man. The spirit man in me will sit there and just come out. So sometimes I don't know if it's Obi-Wan or if it's going to be Gandalf. I'll just say, well, my dear, I will tell you this. You live in a time where you are still blessed. So you hang in there. And I believe in you. She laughed so hard. And she said, I needed that. Thank you so much. And that sets my heart ablaze, because it's a superpower. Your talent is your superpower.
And listeners, Montel is single. I just want you to know.
Lord, here we go. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the DMs will remain empty.
Hey, my DMs are empty as well. I don't know. It's okay. I'm not encouraging any kind of activity. I cannot carry conversation with a lot of people now because I don't talk Cat Williams. I don't talk Real Housewives of LA. I don't understand that level of simplicity. And I've seen we are getting dumber by the year. And the stuff that we're finding humorous. Now, I like some slapstick comedy, right? I was raised in the 70s and the 80s. I remember One Ringy Dingy, Two Ringy Dingy. That show was a book before my time, but I still remember it. Hee haw and all that. We are so dumb now that we will take a blanket and then drop it, and you can see us where we're at behind as a joke, like oh my god, that's so funny. I see you. No, what are we doing? We have now turned comedy into squeezable peanut butter.
You know why that is?
People are lazy and they can't laugh for more than 10 seconds.
That may be true, but look at what they're exposed to. You hit the key notes right there. We were raised with Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner, Looney Tunes, Abbott and Costello, The Three Stooges, Beverly Hillbillies. We grew up where comedy was mental.
Right.
It was mental. Even if it was slapstick, there was still genius behind it. There was still intellect behind it. Watching Wile E. Coyote constantly fail, but every time he did, there was such genius behind it. And to see it fail, mesmerizing. If you try to recreate that nowadays, it's impossible because they don't have a sense of creativity that matches that. Because at the core of that creativity back then, there was that love for comedy. There was that love of making people laugh without being insulting, without being
Right.
hurtful, and without being brutal. And reality
And
TV
then,
has stunted that.
and we can say that as we celebrate George Carlin and Richard Pryor and Bernie Mac. You know, we have true comics that,
And Gallagher, Bill
and
Cosby.
Gallagher as well,
Yeah.
you're right,
Hmm.
that called attention to society's issues
Hmm.
very in your face, but delivered it in a way that you could still laugh about it. And I think that's why a lot of us, especially in my age bracket, we're so desensitized. Oh, there's aliens? Cool. I'll pack a bag. Oh no, there's a war and across the ocean. Okay, thoughts and prayers. I can't get overwhelmed by everything because I'm recognizing that everything is happening intentionally.
Hmm.
And
So,
in 2020, I removed myself and I started to clear out.
mm, I became more. I'm not desensitized because I still feel a sense of dread and revulsion at different things, and that means I'm not losing my humanity. But I became a lot more discerning about what I watch and what I listen to, because
Mhm.
here's the key thing that I follow. I think a lot of people, if y'all are listening, you'll understand this. If it feeds you mentally or emotionally, it's worth it. If it feeds you spiritually, it'll help you to grow. If it's just something stupid and dumb that you're following the trend of everybody else, you're going to be damaged, but you won't even realize you're being damaged. You're going to get hurt, and because that same thing that you laughed at before is like, it's not funny anymore. Why isn't it funny anymore? Oh, because it wasn't designed to be fun. There we go.
Right.
Continue to
And
learn that way.
you brought up discernment, and discernment is something that is becoming extinct,
Hmm.
especially as it relates to the introduction and the growth of AI. Because we are in a society that is sheep,
Mm-hmm.
they can be easily led with a picture and they won't pay attention to the detail. And it's very key that we start paying attention to the details because there's always going to be something that is going to be just a little off. And I'm so afraid of all these wars and everything coming out because, somebody photoshopped a picture of Biden and Trump in a precarious situation and everybody bought it. You know, it's just that's my concern.
I can't I can't really worry about what a lot of people will believe. The only thing that I can control is what I believe. And this is
That's
something
true.
I also put into my children. People will tell you all day long what they'll tell you is the truth and what they feel is the doctrine, and this is what you should believe. Listen to your heart, listen to your spirit, or as I say, your own personal alarm. Most people nowadays will take the batteries out of their alarm and they will accept everything. If your spirit is saying no, 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 don't say, well, I'm gonna try it anyway. What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? This is why I've been able to keep the skin looking nice and, minimal hair loss. And I have a white beard. Why? Because I listen to my spirit man. I listen to my personal alarm. If it doesn't feel right, I respond accordingly because I'm going to take care of myself. Because there are people who rely on me to be
Hmm.
okay. And I would be doing an injustice to any of them who put their faith in me if I don't take care of myself. So I'm not going to believe everything everybody said. I will do my own research.
I, you know what? I kind of sit back and I kind of watch. And it's
Mm,
because I don't even believe the research anymore. Last summer. Okay, I'm about to enter woo-woo land. Okay, I'm about to enter woo-woo land, but
I know what you
run
did last summer.
with it.
I know what you did last summer.
We could do it again next summer too. But
Giggity. I had to. At least one giggity per day. It's a quota. That's the quota.
I witnessed how easily we can be manipulated because I was being manipulated. I don't want to say I was hypnotized, but I was hypnotized. And I started to, oh, you've reached the upper level. Is this the world where the heart is on the left side or is it in the center? And if you Googled it, you would see that Google translated to whatever I just heard on TikTok. So if TikTok just told me that the heart was on the right side, when I Googled it, it said the right side. And then I had an emotional crisis and I snapped out of it. And the person that I had been communicating with, I was like, I actually wanted to slap the crap out of myself because I felt something was wrong with me because now Google was telling me what it should tell me.
I'm laughing because I think everybody has had at least one moment like that. You just gotta sit back and say, you know what? Yeah, I need ice cream and a remote control right now because I need to get away from all this bull. I just need to get away from this because y'all,
And so because of who I am, I recognize that I had to experience it because I can't really speak on something unless I physically felt it. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm good on all of that. Just send me a movie to watch. Look, Montel sent me an anime to watch. You know,
with many more to come. So get ready. I got many more to come. I'm gonna see y'all. She's gonna send me a DM and go, Montel. All right, let me go through the Rolodex of anime. Hold on, let's see which one. Just one that's not. I'm already ready. I'm already ready to be on speed dial.
I know, and you know, the first anime I choose has got like 750 million episodes.
Only 749. Good grief. And a movie.
And a movie.
And
oh,
a movie.
Oh my goodness. I was gonna do a whole Goddess to Geek special last summer, and then life got in the way, and I was gonna watch the Marvel series in order.
Massive undertaking.
Yeah. And then I was just gonna hit like the bigger ones because that was a lot of movies. And then you know, it got away from me. But it's funny because I'm kind of glad it did because I didn't get to use the Goddess to a Geek title, but I got to use it with you. You know.
Okay, let me stop. Let me stop because this high. I can go higher than that. I just want to. I don't want to break any more windows. That was expensive. Well, I'm honored. I really am. Y'all, when I tell y'all, she is one of the sweetest entities you'll ever meet if you ever get the opportunity. But I will tell you this straight up: approach her properly. Approach her properly. Because I'm telling you, this is a Venus flytrap right here. She was like, everything is fine. Oh, Lord. Oh. Can I have my finger back, please? I just wanted to push the button. That's all.
I have been told that my voice is misleading.
Oh no, it's not the voice I'm reading. I'm sitting there going, I'm just like, that aura has spikes in it, y'all. I'm not gonna fool with that. I said, hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm scared of you right now. I'm just kidding.
Absolutely, he is not kidding, folks. He is not kidding. And I receive that. I accept the spikes in my aura. My name is Goddess to a Demon. Come on now.
Okay, then it'd be horns, ladies and gentlemen. We got horns here, okay?
We got horns. Okay, so you ready? 10 seconds are on the clock. You have 2 characters you have to choose for a blend. Who are you choosing?
Doctor Who and Professor Xavier.
Why?
Well, Doctor Who, if you ever know this character, is he's a very deep and intricate character because over the history of the Doctor, he has had many.
Isn't that the telephone booth?
Oh yeah, the TARDIS it looks like a phone booth,
Okay.
but it's called the TARDIS. TARDIS stands for a time and relative dimension in space. So basically, you know how I say things look bigger on the inside? That's the
That's
TARDIS.
what she said.
But the Doctor is a character who regenerates, but it's always the same being. And he has this knowledge of the universe and different races and all types of elements and events that go on. And wherever he is, that's where he's meant to be. And what needs to be fixed, he'll fix. And I got into Doctor Who years ago, and I've been a huge fan of since. And the current Doctor is a brother, and that man's got savvy. Okay, that's savvy and swag. He is going to be phenomenal in this role. Professor Xavier from the X-Men, he is Omega level telepath, so he has the ability to, of course, read minds, delve into the psyche, and find out certain things. Now, if I had the ability to read minds and to delve into the psyche and to go where something is going wrong for somebody that's of a good nature, of a good spirit, and I can go there, help them fix it, and do it again somewhere else, I don't need laser beams coming out of my eyes. I don't need to shoot fireballs from my hands. I got a TARDIS, y'all. I'm wearing a suit. I'm looking dapper all the time, and I'm the best troubleshooter you can find.
Oh, excuse me. Told
That's
you.
all right. That's all right. I was
Supper.
feeling that in my spirit
It's
too.
time for supper. No, I was playing.
Yo, she's wild. I love it. It's like it's time for supper. What's on the menu? I'm famished. We must partake. Let us go.
We must partake. Yes. So you tapped into spirituality, and that's kind of my bag, right? That's my wheelhouse. And I will be honest, it definitely resonates with the Orihime piece because over the last couple of days, I've really been in touch with spirit. And I say that because yesterday, my spirited animal is a goose. I absolutely love a goose. They mate for life, and they're majestic creatures, but they will F you up. And that's kind of just my bag. And I posted something today from last year, where I was recording a video and they just showed up. And you could see me just get lost. And you just see the joy on my face, and I'm just lost. And I busted out crying. I didn't post the whole video, and then at the end, I'm just like, I saw geese. I'm sobbing like a child. But so yesterday, I was watching these birds. By the time this airs, it'll still be relevant because it's still amazing. But there were birds flying in formation, and geese typically fly in formation. So I was watching them. It's still beautiful. I'm always around birds where I'm at. And I said, that's beautiful. I would really love to see some geese, though. Seconds. And geese were flying over my house. And I was like,
they've got a listening device in your house. They got it somewhere on your person, like, we've got the geese call. All right, send out formation Bravo. Here are the coordinates. I need you to be on box. And Millington, stay in formation this time. Last time you did it, you end up falling into an ice cream truck. Sorry. Okay, let's go. And that's when you saw them.
you know what? However it played out, I was there for it.
I love it.
And then I posted this video, and it was a video of intention. Like, I know who I was posting this video for, but there's nothing on the video. And then I was compelled to go into somebody's stories, and they had been given that video, the same person of the intention that I had set. and this person and I actually aren't really talking. And I recognized that spirit was still manipulating because I had pushed out so much intent. He was delivered the message through another means. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Because that gives me a power that I don't want to manipulate. Let me put that caveat on there. Because
You see how she was? She was real slight with the, make sure you put that caveat on there, ladies and gentlemen.
just put that caveat there.
Thank you to the caveat quiet storm. We're going to have some good times tonight. Good times. I
But
love it.
it's really helping me step into my essence, and I've stepped back into I made a joke earlier. When I was a larger woman, I had no problem, being an exhibitionist. And now I'm smaller and my clothes fell on. Like, I don't want to show myself anymore. It's like I fell back into modesty. And it's so exciting for me because a lot of people don't realize I've always been modest. However, society presents an opportunity and I was able to step up into it because I'm a chameleon. I can emulate what I see.
I can
And
see that.
so I was playing the best game of charades that anybody has ever seen in their whole entire life.
This, y'all, and I believe it. I believe everything she's saying too. I can look and go, oh yeah, you'd be the one I would grab on game night. That's easy. I know we would win every time. But that's not,
I'm really into that, and I believe in courting, and I believe if a gentleman is interested in you, there's a proper way to do it. It's, may I get the opportunity to get to get to know you, not I would like to get to know you. I don't care what you want, guy. Get away from me. What?
and I think that, and think language as a whole has suffered because, like you said, there was a time where speaking intention showed intention. Instead of nowadays, when you speak it, they're expecting you to read between the lines and already know the meaning instead of just saying, hey, this is what I mean. I don't want you to translate it. I don't want you to speculate on what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm saying.
Right.
And we see a lot of that nowadays. And to me, that is a failing. Because if I tell you, if you say, Montel, I would love for you to be on my podcast, I'm accepting it for exactly what it is. Instead of, you should be on the show sometime. I don't know if that's an invitation. That's just a general statement. That's you saying,
Right.
okay, you would love to be on there, but that's not me thinking, is that an invitation? Is she inviting me? Do I feel invited? Huh. I'm gonna go
Right.
get. No, instead you're saying, I would like for you to appear on my show. You're telling me, and I can go, okay, and then we can prepare from there.
Right.
But nowadays, but like you said, some people, if I come to you and say, you know what, I think you're amazing, I think you're a wonderful person, I would like the opportunity to get to know you, if that is okay. Boom. You're being respectful. You're showing intention. You're showing diligence, and you're being a human being.
And you're giving her a choice.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it. She may not be interested in me. Say, I would like the opportunity. Well, I'm not interested. I thank you for your time. I appreciate the opportunity.
Right.
And that in turn, how I accept defeat can also garner respect. Because how many times we've seen somebody or a lady or a gentleman get turned down, and it turns into an attitude fest. Well, fine, you ain't shit anyway. I only want blah 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 blah.
Because they can't admit that their feelings are hurt.
Precisely.
And it's so ridiculous because you are responsible for your feelings. Like, I know this is just my level of understanding, and it takes a long time to get here for a lot of people. If you were to say something and it hurt my feelings, I own the feelings. You own the action. So I can say, you know what, I didn't really care for that. You know, I don't have to argue with you, but the fact you hurt my feelings, I need to take that offline. Is that going to be real time accessible all the time? Absolutely not. We're human. If you make us mad, we're going to react.
Wait, we're
However,
human?
some of us, I'm not. I've said
I'm
this
about to
multiple
say,
times.
I feel scales growing on my back all the time. So I already know where I'm at. Okay, I already know.
I have black angel wings.
I believe it. I believe it. With traces of silver along the edge of the wing. It's like,
Oh,
ah.
sexy. That's so crazy. Look, I my ex-boyfriend created a shoe for me. And these are
Oh,
actually his shoes.
wow.
So these are his shoes, which were the
That is,
demon shoes.
those are, first of all, that box is fire, first of all.
Isn't
I
it?
like that
It's
aesthetic. I
really
like
nice.
that.
And then, so there's a funny story with the shoe. He was really excited about the shoe until I told him that he had created a Raiders shoe.
Oh, boy.
So,
Oh, boy.
and he's not really into sports. So he was like, but, you know,
Those are pretty
I
dope. I'll
still.
take them. I'll take them. I'll
What
make it
size
work.
do you wear?
I am a 10.5. I am just enough to be human.
You know what? I think I have a 10.5. I'll check. Because
As they say in
I
Japan,
only
90.
got two size 15s because, you know, Dimitri is size 15, and so I got ones just in case they didn't fit, right? Because they're from Italy, so these are like handcrafted
Custom made.
shoes.
Yeah, they're custom made. Yes, I've been to Italy. It's an amazing
Hard
place.
as heck to get on because you kind of need a shoehorn, not because you have to stretch the leather.
That's true. That is true.
And so I didn't know that until I got the shoes. And so I was like, oh, that's going to be a sales point. But so there's only 6 of
Oof. Look at
these
that.
in production. These are the demonias. And I'm going to actually be selling the extras on my site soon. But
oh, wow.
Aren't these sexy?
Wow. Y'all, if you're a cosplayer, you need to get these shoes. If you're not a cosplayer, but you're looking to get into it, or you want to just look like that bad blankety blank on the street, there you go, right there. Those are dope.
These will be really nice cosplay shoes. Yeah. So
or a black dress just below
special.
the kneecap.
I feel pretty special that I have my own line of shoes. And you know, there's like he made like 10 different sets. But for him to get into the shoe circle, he had to sell so many of each kind. So I got the demonias and I got the demons. And then the demons I bought 10 pair. And then I donated them pretty much out just to get his name out there. And then but because I purchased the 10 pairs, it put him into the spotlight circle where he was actually got to have his shoes on an influencer's page. And they did like a whole spread with his shoe and everything. So it was kind of neat, you know, to be able to be a part of that.
Yeah, that's incredible. Whenever you can put somebody up and you can get them spotlit with other creators. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's all about supporting others who are trying to be on the come up and are honestly trying to contribute something to the overall mission, because there are too many people who say, I want to do it because of me. No, just like someone asked me, why do I do what I do? I said, I was that kid who I never saw people who looked like me that liked the things that I liked. I never had that. And most of my friends were white, but they liked comics and anime and Dungeons and Dragons and everything else. But it never changed who I was. I said, there's got to be black folk out there. I know there is, because we are way too flexible of people to stay so damn rigid. Sure enough, there were. And there are more of us than people believe. But I wanted to still be a voice for those who don't think that they belong. Like, hey, come on out. I mean, it's warm. Well, we got board games. You know, we can do. Come on. There's
And
conventions out there.
I have to admit, the Blerd community is probably the closest place to home that a healer can find,
Yes.
because they are very welcoming of an expanded mindset, and so, and they're into sci-fi, they're into things that don't make
Mm-hmm.
sense. So when you say something, they start trying to take it apart to make it make sense. They don't take the person apart, you know? And that's
It's
one
a
of the things that I've appreciated.
it's a general sense of acceptance because we as black folk, we are creative as hell. We can take some of the most mundane and boring things and make them stylized and look good, and people gravitate to them, even if it's a discussion, a cosplay, a movie idea, maybe art, anything like that. And when you find your tribe, when you find your people, it is the most exhilarating thing in the world because you're greeted like you've been here the entire time. That's why
Right.
BlerdCon is always my favorite, because I've been a part of BlerdCon since day one. I'm proud to be a department head, and I'm proud to run my little corner of it, but all together, collective, this puzzle comes together. You see us show up and show out. Y'all, I want to get Goddess to BlerdCon one day. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Plane, train, or rabbit, squirrel. I'm gonna get her there,
Rabbit
and I'm going.
squirrel.
It's gonna be. I'm just gonna drop her like a meeple in a map. Boop. Okay, there you go. Where
There
am
you
I
go.
supposed to go? Just pick a direction. I promise you'll loop right back around. You'll have a big old smile on your face.
I would absolutely love it. Anytime that I would get to spend with you, I would absolutely enjoy. So, and I've actually shared with Montel that I have considered I'm going to go to a con, and I'm in a debate because I was going to go with Orihime, of course, because, that's just my girl. And the
Mhm.
other character that I told you about, the York, I forgot her name.
Yorichi.
Yorichi, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was funny, and I'm gonna bring this up, and we're
Uh-oh.
gonna
Here we
say a
go.
name. When Alora was talking,
Oh
I
boy.
was like, "Wow."
Oh boy.
She was like, "Yeah, no, she's strong." Yeah, no,
It's like, yeah, no. And it's like,
and she's like, "Yeah, I could see Orihime, but no, not that one. No, because
she could,
she's
yeah,
wrong.
she could see you as
She's strong."
Yorihime, but not Yorichi. And I said, okay. But I understood why she said that, because the great thing about Orihime is she has a strength, she has a quiet strength, but it's still powerful,
Hmm.
in that sense that you would look at her and you make the assumption, oh, she's just some big busty ginger who acts cute and everything else, not realizing the fierce fireball who protects those that she loves on the inside. And like, yeah, that's Goddess. Yeah, that's Goddess. You ain't even got to know her long to just look and go, yep, that's her.
That's me.
Yeah, I don't want to get beat up by that. I'd rather be her friend. So yeah.
And that's where the story for me was.
Hmm.
Yes, of course, I would always want to romanticize it because I'm waiting for my own Dark Lord to show up. But I I appreciate the depth of the relationship because ultimately they had to learn to trust each other.
Hmm.
And that's what we have to do in society. And unfortunately, we can't because the people are very self serving. And there's usually a hidden agenda. And you're like, I'm literally just here to get a cup of water. That's all I'm here for. And suddenly we're discussing CNN tactics. I don't understand how we got here.
And on the other side of that, we talk about Orihime, and as a character, she's phenomenal, but we sometimes forget the other half. Ichigo Kurosaki did not want to be a Soul Reaper. He was put into that arena. He was given a responsibility, forced into it. Now, most people would be put in that position and would just be rebellious. I don't want to do this. I don't ever want to do this. He always had a strong sense of honor and said, okay, I really don't like this, but this is the right thing to do, and I'm going to do it. And I think that's how him and Orihime continued to be as tight as they were, because of his sense of honor and knowing that it's good to do the right thing. Yeah, he got grumpy at times and I don't even want to blah, 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 blah. But she would just look at him and go, he's got a good heart. He doesn't want to be here, but that's only because he didn't get the choice. But I'm going to be there with him. And he recognizes that. That's why he had always looked out for her in any sense. There were a lot of times where Ichigo put his life on the line just to make sure she was okay. And woo, bless his heart. That man became a beast.
And that's the part that was significant for me, because that energy is something that you can't fake. And energies like that are instant. They're not something that you cultivate over time. Like it's a lightning strike. And so you have this moment where this lightning strike, and then you're like, okay, here we are. We're still talking Bleach. Don't let, in case the listeners try to start making this personal, we're still talking Bleach.
I'm sorry that we have to explain. If you've just joined us, we are talking about characters from the anime Bleach. If you don't like Bleach, please, thank you for coming this evening, and we take care and have a wonderful time.
Absolutely, because people like to read into stuff. But so you have this girl who sees this guy, right? And they have this instant lightning connection. And then everything goes to shit. Right? He's questioning who he is because he's got this inner demon thing that he's trying to avoid coming out. And she is this weak individual because she hasn't yet fully stepped into herself yet. But she is the creator. She can take all these different vegetables and stuff and create a meal. That part, that's really where I started sobbing, because I was like, let me tell you some stories of my past.
Goodness.
Where I found out that margarine in ramen noodles changes the flavor just a little bit, and it became really good for me. Is it good today? Probably no. But it was then.
I bet it still is. I'll take it. I'll take all of it.
But and the biggest port, I don't know where that came from, but
it's a cross between a part and a port. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about putting together words that make sense somehow. It's just that the wrong reference.
right, exactly. But when they're in the field, and he recognizes that he's gonna have to let the mask out. The golem, is that what it's called?
Hollow.
Where's the golem? Where the hell did that come from?
We've been talking Lord of the Rings, so I can see
that's
why
probably where. Yeah, I'm learning, guys. Don't judge me, okay? I'm new to this stuff.
He discovers his hollow, his bankai, and a bunch of other different things.
But she witnesses the hollow come out, and it scared her. And she had to really battle herself, because what she saw scared her. But she loved him, and she knew who he was underneath this hollow. And the fact that she put her fear aside to stand with him It's
Mm-hmm.
so impactful to me
Mm-hmm.
because it's very difficult to handle somebody who feels that they've been given this responsibility and they don't have a say.
Oh,
And then
absolutely.
you're watching them fight this and they step outside of their calling and the hollow comes out.
Mm. When you let down your guard just enough for the other side to come through and it starts to take over. Huh. Jujutsu Kaisen, you're really starting to come to mind here as well. You're not ready for that yet. I'm not going to do that to you. You're not ready for that. I'll get a DM from y'all. I'll get a DM from her one day. You'll be like, Jujutsu Kaisen? Yeah, you fucker. Whoa, what did I do? Oh, you started watching it. Oh, you started. Yeah, that's why I was trying to. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I am sorry. You please forgive, but don't hate me.
I could talk to you every day though. It's not even like that would not even be torture. So
Well, Domo Oregano, I take that. I'll accept all of that. I'll accept all of that. But
we
the
have I know that we could keep going and going. I just really enjoy talking to you.
same, same. You're
But
pretty phenomenal.
I am going to take you to the segment of the goddess seat.
Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. As we put the swag in the voice, we know that we are here once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Montel, I I can't even begin to express how significant you are. When we met, I truly believe it was intentional because I don't know that I would have been as good as I was if I hadn't have had somebody there to make me laugh, who recognized that I really was not trying to come in with emotion, and
Mhm.
yet emotion kept being brought to me. And so I recognize key players in my life. And I'm really interested in where our friendship is going to go because even in this short time, you've come to mean so much to me. And I like posting your videos, and I'm like, oh, look at this cute guy that I found on TikTok, you know?
If y'all are confused, she's talking about me. Although I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
But from the deepest recesses of my heart, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you being in my life currently and the strength that you provided to me over the weekend that we did the podcast. I look forward to learning all kinds of anime with you. Chris and I are working on a Disney special that we're going to do live, where we take Disney and relate it to life. It was
Ooh.
my favorite episode in my first season. Um, and Big Six is one of my picks this time. So
Oh boy, why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised, ladies and gentlemen? This does not surprise me. Okay.
I may
I
have a
can't.
thing for the Asians now, you know.
No, whatever gives you that idea. What? Oh, I wouldn't have seen that coming a mile away as the brick is slowly coming towards my face.
Right, right. See, but that's the great piece about it. And I'm moldable, right? And I'm not gonna take to everything. Some things I'm gonna be like, nah, yeah, okay. But I can I can learn just enough of it to be excited about it. And when I shared with you that my orihime, I felt like a little kid. I was so excited. I was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you. you know?
And I was accepting of it and I received it and I was so happy because your joy was genuine and that always speaks volumes to me when someone genuinely embraces a character, a series, a plot line, anything that they can relate to. and they feel at home with, that's a victory.
Right. And you get, I'm going to give you credit for turning me into a Blerd because you were the first person I got to share it with. So we're going to take that away from Chris Fury, which he feels that he owns everything. And we are going to give it to you, Montel. Okay, so
I accept this honor wholeheartedly.
And while we are here accepting honors, tell everybody where they could find you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs and nerds of all ages, it is once again your frosty bearded blurticorn here with the goddess on her wonderful, marvelous platform here. Let me tell you, she is quite the dish. Yes, quite, yes. If you want to find out what shenanigans I'm up to, if you're bored, if you just want to see, hey, let's see what the guy with white beard is doing, you can find me across all social media under Navy Montel, even on Facebook. Just search Navy Montel. That's pretty much it. I'm on TikTok. I just did a couple more TikToks. I had some that I forgot that I had uploaded, so I got those uploaded. And lately, whatever's been coming to my mind as far as what I would want someone to know, I've been doing more of that. So y'all are in trouble. That's all I gotta say. I got the new glasses, so all of y'all are in trouble. I can see everything now.
Everything.
Everything. Is that microscopic? Oh no, it's been there the whole time. Well, shit. Okay, never mind.
Well, thank you so much, Montel, for joining me. And I know it's the first of many.
Absolutely.
And to all my listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow me on Swell. I do mini casts where I do some venting and
Ooh.
all platforms under Goddess to a Demon. If you'd like to donate to the podcast, let me know. Links are in bio.
Please let her know, y'all. Don't catch her by surprise, okay?
Don't catch me by surprise.
It's not gonna work out well. Mm-mm.
Other than that, thank you so much for waking up today. I love you. And be nice. It's easy.
Soft words and harsh truths. You got issues, I got issues, we all do.